At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange,
And not all our steaks are ribeyes.
but wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road.
Belts strapped and dreams packed.
No distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dietrich, Idaho for tonight's Magic Valley game night on IdahoSports.com. Tonight it's presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com. Also presented by the Power Boosters here tonight, Valley Title and Floor, Dusty's Electric, Rancher Supply, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, the Snow Bunny Drive-In, and Shaw L&L Mercantile. Alongside my broadcast partner tonight, Dallin Fryer, my name is Lucas Gebhardt. Dallin, this should be a fun one tonight. We got 8-man action tonight, number 1 versus number 2. We have Carey coming in on the road with a 5-1 record, the only loss to Butte County back in week 2 of their season. They lost that game by 20, but other than that, they've been blowing through this thing. You have a 62-32 win at Murtaugh. You have a 60-8 win over Castleford, 80-0 over Richfield, 70-6 over Hanson, 64-6 at Rockland last week. You kind of get the story there for Carey. They are good. They have a high-powered offense, but Dietrich, on the other hand, this is the number 1 team in the 1A classification, and they bring a 6-0 record, averaging 55.5 points a game.
Yeah, and I mean, on both sides of the ball, we're just going to see a lot of firepower over and over again. With that one loss that Carey had, too, it was against a 2A opponent who's ranked highly as well.
Right.
And so, I mean, from their perspective, they can basically look at themselves as undefeated as well in a different sense as well. And they want that number 1 ranking just as much.
Yeah, it is senior night here tonight in Dietrich for our Gem State Game of the Week. So we'll have a couple different camera angles for you guys here tonight. We have Will Kingsbury producing this whole thing. We have Paul Kingsbury down truck side as he's got his truck loaded up in the truck bed. We'll also have Leif Morrison down there on the sideline as well, running a camera. So a full crew tonight on IdahoSports.com. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into these two opponents here. These are two teams that used to play each other all the time. And then Carey was the one that went up a classification, went up to the 1A Division I class, which is now the 2A class. Carey dropping back down to what is now 1A a couple seasons ago. Since dropping back down, they went to the semis in 2022, lost in the first round, an unusual 3-6 record for them last year. But these two teams last played back in 2022, these conference opponents. It was a close one, 24-22. Carey winning that one. These two teams also met up in the 2020 state championship game. So Carey feeling pretty good. A strong senior class for them coming into this year. And with that experience at that higher level, they feel pretty good coming into this year.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of excitement specifically from quarterback Preston Wood. He's basically the do-it-all for the Carey Panthers. As we reached out to the coaches and tried to get a little bit more info about these teams, that's every single bullet point seemed to have Preston Wood's name on it.
Yeah.
And as you look at the stats, you see Preston Wood at the top of the stats as well. As we go throughout the night, we'll be saying his name over and over again. But there's a great supporting cast, like you said, a lot of seniors, and they come in here knowing. So one thing that's really cool about these smaller schools is that they grow up watching these same matchups over and over and over again. You don't have many move-ins, you don't have many move-outs. Everybody just kind of stays, and so they'll all remember 2022. They'll all remember 2020. They might not have been playing, but they were definitely just as much a part of it as the players on the field that time.
Yeah, it's definitely the whole town kind of shows up for sure. Preston Wood, his stat line coming into tonight, 643 yards through the air. Hard to beat this. 14-1 touchdown to interception ratio. On the ground, he's got 461 yards and 11 touchdowns as well, adding 24 tackles on defense too. So he's the real deal. On the other end for Dietrich, this is a team that, like Carey, they've kind of been running through their schedule a little bit. Not quite as high scoring as Carey, but you still have a 74 offensive output against Camas County back in September. You have 62 points at Castlefort, 58 against Richland, 68 last week against Hanson. So this Dietrich offense, they've had a couple injuries throughout the year, but as far as we can tell, they should be fully healthy for the most part here tonight. This is an offense that can get up and down the field just as well as Carey can.
Yeah, and apart from one blemish over on September 6th against Rockland, where they only beat Rockland by 4, every game has been a blowout.
Yeah.
And every single game has been at least in the 40s, but it seems like it just goes 40, 50, 60, 70. And they're at the peak of their powers right now. It's senior night, like you said, and anyone who's ever played a senior night knows how big those moments feel. It feels like a second state championship almost.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's hard to believe that it's already senior night. Feels like we just got started.
Well, we don't have good weather like this all season every year.
It's supposed to be like in the 80s this weekend. Yeah, it's incredible. Dietrich, after they're done here tonight, they'll close the year at Shoshone. Carey has 2 more games on its regular season schedule. They'll play Shoshone on October 18th, and then they'll close the year at Camas County on October 25th, and then it's off to the state playoffs. These 2 teams expect to be there. These are 2 teams that are no strangers to making deep playoff runs. At one point, Carey went to 5 consecutive state championship games. They won 2 of them. That run was from 2017 all the way to 2021, and then they backed it up with another run to the semis in 2022. This is a Carey team, especially when they play at this level. They know how to go deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, just excited. And, I mean, you look at the sideline, and as we go throughout the night, you can see the Carey sideline over there. It looks a lot bigger, a lot wider. That is something that on the Dietrich side, Coach Sahili said Coach Estelle, right?
Yeah, Estelle.
Coach Estelle said they may not have a lot of size. Like, they might not look like they're matching up against Carey, but by all means, they do match up against Carey.
Yeah, no doubt. This is going to be a fun one here tonight. Number 1 versus number 2 here in Dietrich as we get ready for the national anthem here on IdahoSports.com. It's Magic Valley game night. Dietrich and Carey kickoff coming up after this.
I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my P1FCU Ascend checking account. It's a free account that earns 3.5% APY of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but I also have all the great features of a checking account, like mobile deposit and mobile wallet. Open your Ascend checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today. APY is the annual percentage yield.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
Welcome back to Dietrich, just moments away from kickoff here, number 1 versus number 2 in the 1A classification. While we have a moment, let's go over the latest state media poll here in the 1A class. Dietrich, with their 6-0 record, got 10 of the 12 first-place votes in the latest media poll. They are the top-ranked team. Number 2, and right behind them, getting 2 of the 12 votes, is Carey with their 5-1 record. Garden Valley comes in at 3rd. Lakeside coming in at 4th with their 5-0 record. Tri-Valley rounding out the top 5. Council, Rockland, and Shoshone all receiving votes. So the lights are, one thing about getting later in the year, it's still warm, but it's getting darker a little quicker. Lights are on. That's some Friday night lights here tonight.
Yeah, we'll always take that. One cool thing about Dietrich's schedule right now is, or not Dietrich's schedule, Carey's schedule, my mistake, is that they end the season with very strong, having opponents both ranked in the top 3 to finish their season. Obviously you want to win both of these games, but regardless, this is going to prepare them for the postseason so much.
Yeah, and we were talking with some of the Carey coaching staff before the game, and they said, hey, playing at the higher level, that's helped us in dropping down. It was a much more physical game at the 1A Division I classification, which of course now is 2A. As we reshuffle the classifications, 1A in Division I, 1A in Division II, that's all now just 1A.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And the schools that were 1A D1, they bump up to what is now 2A. So 8-man football here at the 1A and the 2A classifications. You start hitting 11-man football at the 3A level. And then at the top end of it, we added a 6A at the top. So all the big schools, they now play in a 6A classification that is new to Idaho this year. I think it's something that the IHSAA, they made that move. I don't think anyone has any issues with it.
No, if I remember right, the vote was either unanimous or basically unanimous, like maybe one vote against. And really there weren't a lot of teams that shuffled down and up. Most of them just switched to whatever they were already. It just got the new name basically. Carey, one of the teams that was an exception. You see a couple in the 2A to 3A now.
Yeah.
Over in the southern Idaho, there we go, the southeastern Idaho area, and then a little bit in the 4A, 5A, or 5A, 6A. But really, this, like you said, for Carey, this is a really big thing and something that Dietrich is going to have to be prepared for because they haven't seen a team like this yet this year.
Right. Yeah, this is going to be maybe the best team they face all year. Then the number 1 team in the 1A class. Dietrich wearing their black uniforms tonight with blue numbers, black helmets as well. They will be receiving to start things off here tonight. Carey, the white uniforms and the yellow helmets. Back deep to receive the opening kick, Jace Norman for Dietrich. As Carey gets set to tee this thing up, it's Magic Valley game night here on IdahoSports.com. Lucas Gephardt, Dallin Fryer bringing you coverage of this one. Will Kingsbury producing, Paul Kingsbury and Leif Morrison on the sideline cameras. Dallin's got the camera up here in the booth, so 3 cameras here tonight.
Love it.
So they're going to rush a ball out onto the field. We're still just a few minutes delayed getting started with this one, obviously with the senior night. And now we have a football.
That's the first time I've ever seen someone not the kicker tee up the football.
Yeah.
One of the, we're not going to call him a spectator, but somebody on the sidelines teeing up the football. I love it.
All right, we are set for football here tonight. It's going to be Eddie Gamino kicking things off for Carey. Gamino has it kicked up, teed up end over end kick. Will go down to the 5. And here comes Norman as he goes down the far side, wrapped up at the 20. And that is where the Dietrich offense will start its first drive of the night. Dietrich averaging 55 points a game coming into the night, and led by quarterback Connor Perkins. Perkins, 418 yards through the air, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Also has 744 yards on the ground with 18 touchdowns on the ground as well. Has lost a fumble on the year. Dietrich will start the night in an I formation as they go to the ground, and this one going nowhere. It went backwards. As on the carry, that was Isaac Ward. He was one of the players we were kind of keeping an eye on coming into the night. Dietrich coaching staff had said He's been dealing with a few injuries so far this year. He's the starting running back tonight, but loses 3 yards out of the gate, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, great start for Carey. Lot of field open still for Dietrich.
Shotgun set now, it's Perkins. Read option, they go up the middle, and again, nothing but a wall there for Dietrich. Leading the way is Will Park, one of the defensive linemen in for Carey, and it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 coming up for Dietrich.
One thing about Dietrich is that they do not pass the ball very often. Like you said, Perkins, only 42 pass attempts on the season. Leading pass catcher, I think, is still in the single digits, if I remember right. And so they're going to have to open it up here early.
Yeah, a lot of running for Dietrich. They might have to throw here, though. 3rd and 12. Clean pocket, steps up. Now he escapes. Going out to the far side. He's got some wheels. Slides down just short of the 30. He is short of the first down by about 4 yards or so, the quarterback Perkins, but he showed off his speed there. Showed why he scored 18 touchdowns on the ground.
It'll be interesting to see as the game goes on how much more there are designed opportunities for him. Even in the pass game, that's a very easy read, especially in 8-man football, because there's a lot of field. If your first read isn't there, you have a lot of field to work with. I'm sure we'll see him keeping that more often than not.
4th down, Dietrich going to go for it. I formation, 4th down and 4. Play action, Perkins with it, floats one, down the near sideline, leaping forward, it's incomplete. Broken up by Stockton Sears. Intended target was Brody Torgensen, and Dietrich turns it over on downs.
Both the defender and the receiver almost came down with the ball, and ultimately pays off better for Carey that wasn't an interception because they get about 25 yards from the play.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the first Carey drive of the night, going to start in great field position. It's going to start at the 28-yard line. Here comes the leader of the offense, Preston Wood, the quarterback. 643 yards through the air, 460 on the ground. And he'll lead the Carey offense on its first drive of the night. They go to the ground straight up the middle. And this one pushed back after gaining just a couple. The running back, Matthew Young, picks up 2.
Yeah, Brody Torgerson really made sure that there were no extra yards gained on that carry. As the ball carrier went forward, he pulled him right back and said, I'm going to be here all night.
2nd down and 8. 9.5 minutes to go, opening quarter. One receiver in the set to the near side. Quarterback keeper slips out of one tackle. This is Wood going towards that far side, pushed out of bounds at the 20. He's a few yards short of the first down, 3rd and short coming up for Carey.
I really liked the patience of Wood on that run. He knows that he's still got 2 downs to work with. This is obviously 4-down territory. No need to try to barrel into a defender here in the first possession of the game. Lots of time left, still 2 downs, and basically in the red zone now as well.
Ball sitting right at the 20. 3rd down and 3. Split back formations. And they go to the right. Picking up the first down, a physical run. A.J. Black, his first carry of the night, down to the 16, first down carry. So 9:04 to go in this opening quarter. Carey moves the chains, creeping closer to the end zone. Ball's at the 15.
One of the game plan points that Coach Siley shared with us was that they wanted to split reps between as many ball carriers as they can. Already 3 different ball carriers early on.
They got 2 in the backfield right now. And this is going to be a triple option. Pitch out as they pitch it out to Young, and Young is wrapped up after about a 5-yard gain. Wrap him up at the 13. 2nd down coming up. Don't see a whole lot of triple option. Well, maybe Carey runs it all the time. I don't know.
I love seeing it. I mean, It's my favorite play in NCAA football, of course.
Unstoppable at NCAA 25. I'm with you. 8:15 to go in this opening quarter. 2nd down and 7 here for Carey. Wood, the quarterback, stepping up under center. Play action. Wood escaping the pocket to the left, has some room in front of him, has the first down, makes a move, and so touchdown Carey. Preston Wood gets the Panthers on the board, 6-0 Carey. And the scoring begins here, just under 8 minutes to go. Carey get a go for 2. You see this a lot down in the 1As. So the 2-point conversion coming up. Wood will go under center, Young the back, and Black out at receiver. He's motioned now, coming to the near side. Play action, rolling to that far side, scampering into the end zone, throwing a defender to the ground. 2-point conversion's good.
Did we mention Preston Wood is good?
Yeah.
he's a good ball player.
Preston Wood, the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And it is 8-0 Carey.
We got to kind of see Preston Wood's full arsenal on that drive. We didn't really see passing, obviously, but we saw physical, we saw smart, we saw elusive. I mean, he has it all.
Yeah, he's the full package. And he's got the Panthers on the board here on Magic Valley game nights. So Carey will get set to kick it away for the second time tonight. 7:55 to go here in this opening quarter. As you get a view of some of the crowd here at Dietrich. Kind of a cool setting they have. Some of the fans will just stand on the sideline. There are bleachers, which we're at the top of those bleachers here up in the booth. But I would say the majority of the fans just stand on the sideline.
They're engaged. It's a football town.
That's right. So Gamino getting set to kick it away once again. Norman back deep to receive again. End over end kick. Norman from the 10. Norman trying to find some room down the far side. He's out to the 40, tripped up just short of the 40 at the 38. So the Dietrich offense comes back out onto the field now. Turnover on downs last time out. And the Blue Devils had a hard time getting anything going in the running game as they'll try to kickstart their offense here. 7:48 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and really the only productive play was Perkins getting out of the pocket. Everything up the middle was just, there just wasn't any space. And so we'll see if they go more towards the outside on this possession.
Perkins will start in the shotgun. Send a man in motion out to the near side. Screen to the near side. Pass is caught. That's Torgensen, who picks up a couple blocks, steps out of the tackle across the 50, has a first down to the 45. A pickup of 17.
Brody Torgerson, 6'1", 210, and that might be a little underselling
He's big.
how he looks out there.
He is big. And he has a first down. Dietrich across midfield. As the Blue Devils get the play in from the side. Perkins, the quarterback, will send a man in motion. That's Ward. Bat snap. It goes all the way back to the 35. Perkins picks it up. Trying to make something out of this. Squeaks out a one tackle and dropped all the way back across the 50. Might have been better if he threw that one away.
Yeah, and I don't know if he really had time to think of where the original line of scrimmage was as well. It was, they call those a fire play, and that's what it looked like.
Yep, that was a fire drill. It's going to make it second and long. About 2nd and 21. Perkins sends Ward in motion once again, going to the far side. Another high snap. Delivers this one out to the far side, incomplete. 3rd and 21 coming up now as he was looking for Ward on the far side. So the bad snap really derailing what looked to be at least a good start to the Dietrich drive.
Yeah, and Perkins at this point, I mean, 21 yards to go. You at least want to get to midfield here just to create an opportunity to at least flip field position, but maybe have a shot for a 4th down attempt.
3 receivers in the set, 1 running back as they throw on 3rd and 21. Perkins escaping the pocket. Now he's going to circle all the way back to the near side of the field. Still looking. Now he throws one up for grabs down the sideline, and it is caught! Caught at the 25, 1st down, Dietrich. That's just going up and winning a jump ball.
Yeah, Brody Torgerson again. I mean, we didn't mention him in the preview of the game at all, but man, he has really made his impact early.
Yeah, there's the biggest catch so far of the game. That was triple coverage, and the 6'1" Torgerson just goes up and gets it.
Yeah, and the concentration there as the ball tipped around on both sides. I thought Carey was going to come down with it.
I thought so too. I thought he threw it up. I thought it was picked, but instead it's a 1st down. 1st down at the 20. Perkins' short pass is intercepted off the deflection, off of Torgerson's hands and into the hands of A.J. Black, who picks up the interception. That one just hit him right in the hands. That's going to be one that he wants back.
Yeah, Torgerson, I mean, he's going to hang his head about that after he just made that great catch. But sometimes you can see that, you know, as you go out and you make a big play, you're thinking, what's next, And maybe got ahead of himself just a little bit there.
So here comes the Carey offense for the 2nd time tonight, leading 8-0, 5 minutes to go. As they're going to start things on the ground with Young. Young out to the far side, has a 1st down, pick up a 12. For Perkins, it was just his 2nd interception of the season. And it gives Carey the ball back. You're just over halfway through this opening quarter.
Yeah, and Perkins, he hasn't really, I mean, apart from the prayer that Torgerson caught, he has made pretty good throws, pretty accurate throws. You can tell he's a smart quarterback, just unlucky there.
The deep back is Black, or check that, Young. Young, the deep back, as he gets another carry here. He's out to the 41. So pick up a 12 last time, picks up 9 here.
That was a little bit of outside zone. I remember a couple weeks ago watching, I can't remember which NFL game, but one of the NFL games, it was with the Rams, as Matthew Stafford tried to reach out as far as possible to hand it off to his running back. It's not an easy play for a quarterback to make to get out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to get on your horse to get out those stretch plays. They're going to run another stretch, this time to the near side, as it's Young again. He has the 1st down as he comes across the 45, down to the 46. And Carey starting to get into a bit of a rhythm offensively here.
Young, another person who wasn't really mentioned in our preview, but
playing well.
Really good runner, good runner, downhill, well. Patient.
And a timeout taken by Dietrich. That's going to leave them with 2 left here in the opening half. And so with 4:07 to play here in the opening quarter, Carey on the move once again. Dietrich offensively, I think, we thought both these teams would really move the ball. Carey, I think, has been as advertised. Dietrich, a little bit stumbling out of the gate here.
Yeah, and that first possession really hurt their rhythm because you come out with a game plan. I don't know if they script plays, but, a lot of teams script plays. They know what they want, and when the first play gets blown up, you start to think, whoa, okay, so what should we do? And then second play doesn't work. Okay, what should we do? And then 3 and out comes, boom. Next possession, you're thinking, okay, we need to start over. What can we do? What plays work for us? And they got a couple to work. This bad snap, just a couple missteps. I mean, it's 8-0, and it feels like it's a lot more than that right now.
Yeah,
and so I think with that being said, if this was a good timeout, this is most of the time in football, you see timeouts because people are out of position, things like that. But I think this was this is almost like a basketball timeout, where it's like, okay, we need to slow things down, talk to our guys. We're in this game. Yeah, it's still way early.
Yeah, it's way early. It's only 8-0, 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Play action. Wood under pressure, steps out of a sack, still on his feet, and now he's taken down at the 38. And you back up the timeout with a sack. That was just what the doctor ordered for Dietrich.
First time we've seen any of the Dietrich defenders in the backfield as well, and that's something that they're going to have to do tonight, because if they let, as we saw the first possession, if they let Wood outside of the tackles anytime there's a pass play, it's automatic yardage. And so as he came up, he had 2 or 3 different defenders. He did break the first tackle, but if there's another guy there, percentage lies with the defense.
Could not escape Angel Alvarado, who came up with that sack. 2nd and long now, 2nd and 16. As we have a penalty marker fly, as this somehow ended up into the hands of Eddie Camino. And you see a couple Dietrich players as we'll check out the flag here as we get our first penalty of the night. It's a face mask against Dietrich, a 5-yard face mask. So not quite the bailout that Carey fans may have been hoping, but it does help Carey out a little bit.
Yeah, one of those plays, too, for Dietrich, you just hold your breath. You're like, we just made a big play. Are we really going to give him a personal foul?
Yeah.
Got a little bit lucky there with just a 5-yard face mask.
3 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. I formation here once again. Camino the deep back here in the I formation. He gets it over on the left side. Camino makes his way to the 49 before he's dropped. And that 2nd down run will now bring up a 3rd down and a little more manageable now. We'll call it a 3rd and 7 in what is likely 4-down territory.
Yeah, and with it being 4-down territory, I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe go back to that triple option again here.
That's a good play. It looked good the last time they ran it. Back to the I formation. You called it. Here it is. Triple option. Wood trying to find the outside. He can't find the edge, and it's a loss of about 2.
Yeah, Wood. I mean, they recognized it as well. The Dietrich defense coming up big there, and it kind of makes it more interesting. I mean, yes, they're probably not going to punt here, but it does make Carey almost think, maybe we should punt because we didn't go anywhere there.
Yeah, could play the field position, sure, but Carey huddling up as if they're going to go for it. Normally don't huddle when you're going to punt.
They also huddle 15 yards away from the ball. Which,
top secret,
keeping it safe, yeah.
4 receivers in the set here. 4th down and 8 from the 48. Wood will throw, steps up in the pocket. He's going to unload one down the middle of the field, just out of the reach of the receiver. He was looking for Matt Young, and he couldn't quite haul it in off his fingertips.
That was a pretty ball by Wood.
Yeah. Just off the fingertips of Young on 4th down, and Dietrich, maybe you're finally feeling that they finally caught a break, as Young was just about a couple inches away from hauling that one in for a touchdown.
Yeah, if Dietrich is able to put some points on the board here, we're going to really look back to that timeout that they called, kind of as a turning point, I think, in this, at least in this Young game so far.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's shifted the momentum a little bit as the Dietrich offense comes back out onto the field. They'll run it straight up the middle. This is a pickup of about 6, a physical run. You saw Carey trying to pry the ball loose, but the ball carrier Ward having none of it. Gain of 7.
Yeah, Ward looked at the sideline, I think, almost as like, hey, give me the ball again. Like, I felt good about that run. He's had some injuries over the last couple weeks, and I think that was one of those, oh, yeah, I remember how it feels now.
We'll see if he gets the rock again here. 2nd down, under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. Deep I formation as Dietrich now tries to triple option. That doesn't go anywhere as they tried it straight up the middle. Hoskinson on the carry, the fullback.
One thing that absolutely wrecks the triple option is that right guard not getting any penetration up the field. And we saw it there because there's nowhere to go, especially with the slow development that it takes for the triple option, as they don't get to the second level with your linemen.
It's a loss of, we'll say, 1.5 yards. Leaves a 3rd and 7 here from the 45. Dietrich to throw. Quick out to the flat, dropped. Torgensen dropping another one after he went up and made a miracle catch in triple coverage just a few plays ago. Fourth down coming up now for Dietrich. That was obvious. That was a play not to pick up the first down, but to get fourth and short, and they can't come up with it.
And Torgerson, they're gonna need him, especially because if you look around the Carey defense, there is nobody that matches up with his size. And
He's
so,
not even close.
and so, especially as they get closer to the end zone, they're going to need his size. And so, yes, you're going to be down if you've dropped 2 balls in a row, but he's got to put this behind him because he's going to be a big part of this game if Dietrich is able to come through.
Perkins in the shotgun will send Ward in motion. He's going to roll to the near side. Here comes the pressure. Steps out of it, but holding on for dear life. Gamino slings him to the ground for the turnover on downs. Gamino just would not let go of Perkins, and he comes up with the sack and the turnover, and Carey takes over at the Dietrich 45. And that will expire the first quarter. They had 3 seconds up on the clock, but I don't think the clock ran on that fourth down. So officials wind the clock, and that is the end of one here from Dietrich. We're going to take a timeout here on IdahoSports.com. Second quarter coming up after this. 8-0 Carey after one.
Those of us who devote our lives to the animals we love can recall a kind of dawning, like a seed planted deep within us and it taken root and begun to grow. It's why our family built a company dedicated to supporting the animals we all care for and this lifestyle we share.
Second quarter here from Dietrich. Turnover on downs is how we get things going here. In the second, teams will flip ends of the field, and Carey will take over here at the Dietrich 45. The quarterback, Wood, going under center. Handoff over on the left side. Stepping out of a tackle, still on his feet across the 40 is Young. Down to the 38. Pickup of 8.
Super impressed with Young tonight on both sides of the ball as well. But especially just getting downhill, it feels like every time that Young touches the ball, it's 5 or 6 yards. Might not break the long one, but just consistent.
Young, the fullback now. They hand it off to their other back, A.J. Black, who cuts back. A flag flies in the backfield, likely holding as he's dropped just beyond the line of scrimmage. This one's probably going to get marched back.
Big fumble on the play as well.
Yeah, I did see some. Yeah, it might have popped out as it is holding against Carey. They're going to decline it, and yeah, you're right. Dietrich recovers the fumble. So the second turnover of the night, first for Dietrich, and the ball goes back to the Blue Devils. Good eyes there.
Well, and I don't think A.J. Black really knew what happened there. He's a pretty secure ball carrier. He was referred to as the strongest player on the team. He's used to carrying the pile, and he just felt the ball go away from him.
So first down and 10 for Dietrich, now at its own 36. Dietrich will throw on first down. Here comes a floater down the near side, has a man open, just overshot him. They're looking for Wyatt Snedden, and if they can connect, it's 6 points for the Devils.
Yeah, not too bad of a throw. It looked like Snedden kind of either lost the ball in the air or just didn't quite finish the route. But not a bad ball and definitely a play they could go back to later.
Especially in the 8-man game, too. You're getting man coverage all night.
Absolutely. Which is why you see Preston Wood at cornerback over here as well, because you want your fastest guy. It doesn't matter if he's your quarterback. You need him on both sides of the ball every time.
Second and 10. Perkins back in the shotgun. Twins out to the left, single right. And so motion a man out towards the near side. He'll throw. Pressure early, and he goes down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And it was a jailbreak up front early for the Carey defense.
Yeah, we talked a lot about how much firepower each of these offenses have, but with it only being 8-0, we have to point out Dietrich only allowing 14 points per game, Carey only allowing 15 points per game.
Yeah.
And right now, with these two great football teams, defense is winning.
3rd down and 10. A minute gone here, early stages, 2nd quarter. Rolling to the near side, delivers. That pass caught on the run by Sneddon, and Sneddon is dropped at the 43. Pickup of, we'll call it 4, brings up a 4th down, and it's kind of been a war of attrition a little bit between the 40s the last couple drives.
I hadn't even thought about that. It's just these chain guys probably like it. They don't have to move very much.
They're going about 15 yards either way.
That's right, and the sideline officials, they're like, yeah, we're okay. We'll just walk back and forth.
4th down and 4 as Dietrich breaks the huddle. Of 3 receivers in the pattern here. 4th down and 4 coming up. And a flag flies as Sneddon gets sent in motion. And an illegal shift or a false start, whatever you want to call it, moves Dietrich back 5.
I think the culprit there was Chase Norman, receiver. I'm sure we'll see him get a little bit of action on the outside as well as the night goes on. Sometimes as a receiver, you get excited. Like, that could have been a pass play, we don't know. And it's one of those, you just get a little bit too excited because you're like, okay, the ball's going to be coming to me.
You
got to be
you're
ready
the
for
first
it.
Look and
That's right.
Yeah, sure. Turns it into a 4th and 9. Twins to each side as Perkins takes the snap. He's under pressure, looking for somewhere to go with it. Now he punts it. And it goes out of bounds at the 41. And Garrett Estelle not happy on that one as he was yelling to punt the ball a little earlier than his punter did. His punter / quarterback Perkins did. He wanted that one out a little quicker.
Yeah, and I mean, especially the way that you said it's just been 40s to 40s. Any extra field position you can gain on these punts, it might end up making a difference, especially after they forced a turnover last possession.
Yeah, it seems like that's what Estelle had in mind there, too, is to flip the field position. To the ground, Carey goes here on 1st down, and this one's going backwards as well. Driven back, A.J. Black. Loss of 2. Alvarado in on the tackle. Another tackle for loss for him tonight. He's got a sack and another TFL here.
Yeah, it won't be the last time we call his name as well. Obviously, we don't have any official stats up here, but it's gonna be an Alvarado night if they're able to continue to put this pressure in the Carey backfield.
Yeah, he's been good off the edge. 2nd and 12 now. Carey coming out in a shotgun. The snap is loose on the ground. Looks like Carey was the first to it. And it's Wood who came up with the ball. So Carey dodging a little bit of a bullet there, but it leaves them with a 3rd and 11.
Carey has not turned the ball over very much this season. If I remember right from what we looked at in stats earlier this year, or earlier this week, I think it's less than 5 turnovers on the season. Might even be less than that. And we've already seen a lost fumble and another fumble that they were able to recover at least.
Yeah, other than downs, I mean, their quarterback Wood only has 1 interception. It's a bad snap here. Wood on 3rd and long rolls out to the far side. The pass incomplete as he was looking for Gabe Saili. It looked like that might have went in and out of his hands as well, but it leaves a 4th down, and good job by Wood as well, as that could have been absolutely disastrous for Carey, and Wood able to at least salvage an incompletion. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it might be the first time we see Carey punt the ball away as well. If we think back to the one score that Carey has, it was the one time that Dietrich maybe didn't make the greatest decision with not punting the ball away. It wasn't a field position decision. It was a we want to win this game decision. And other than that, there's been almost no blemishes on either side.
And this is Alvarado jumping here on the 4th down. It's 4th and 11, so it might push Carey up just enough to go for it, but they were lined up to punt. Preston Wood, the quarterback, was lined up to punt. And now a timeout is taken here by Carey. So that leaves them 2 left here in the 2nd quarter. We do want to take this time to tell you about one of our power boosters here tonight. It's the 529 Ideal 8-man Prepcast drawing. It's a chance to receive $529 contribution into an ideal Idaho education savings account. So these funds can be used to go to college, to trade school, any grant programs, anywhere nationwide. No account is needed to enter. The contest is limited to families with children attending or planning to attend 1A or 2A public or private schools. So if you want to get a head start on your child's 529 account, you get $529 going into their 529 account. Just click on the Ideal Idaho College Savings Program link. You can find that under the Power Boosters on the webpage. So 4th down and 6. As Carey sends a man in motion from right to left. False start. This will push him back. So 5 yards forward, 5 yards back.
And obviously Carey trying to get as many yards as they could because, like you said, that pushed them to kind of no man's territory. It was like, should we not?
Looked like they tried to buy another 5 yards with another hard count.
Absolutely. And it came back to bite them there, back to where we just barely were.
Looked like it was Gabe Saili who jumped on that one, but Carey lined up to go for it once again here. 4th and 11. We do tend to see these pooch punts out of these formations here at this level. Saili, the man in motion, sets over to the left, and they're going to go for it. Wood keeps over to the right. Wood still on his feet, has a first down. Here comes a flag, though, all the way back at the 45. So we'll see if this one stands as a Carey Panther picks up his lid back at the 45. Officials will get together. As it stands right now, it's a Carey first down.
Did you see what happened as the helmet came off?
That was a late flag. The flag came in well after the play as it was Stockton Sears who lost his helmet. You see him going to the sideline right now. Gamino coming on. Remember, Gamino's also the Carey kicker as well. And it's going to be against Carey.
Legal substitution. You don't see that very often in this level either, as they don't have many substitute. I don't know. I don't know if that was the wrong signal, but...
Well, if it is illegal substitution, odd with how late the flag came in.
Yeah, it must have been something that, as the play was finished, I thought it would have had something to do with the helmet on the field.
Yeah, well, they pushed it back 15 yards from where the penalty marker was thrown. That had to have been
something else, yeah.
I don't think it was an illegal substitution. I think it was something along the lines of a personal foul or unsportsmanlike, something like that.
Yeah, just regardless, we're still on 4th down.
Yeah, still on 4th down, right. This is 4th and 22 now, and now Preston Wood's lined up to punt. And they're going to go with another hard count. Wood now punts it away. It's going to land at the 36. Doesn't take much of a Carey bounce. Gamino downs it at the 38. 7:40 to go here in the second quarter, and our war between the 40s continues.
Well, and during the first quarter break, I said to you, man, that was a fast first quarter. And since then, we've had, I think it's 15 minutes of real time and 3 minutes of game time.
That seems about right, yeah. 7:42 here, local time in Dietrich. For perspective, I did a 4A game last week, Homedale and Weiser. We had hit halftime by 45 minutes in.
Oh, wow.
that was a quick-moving game. Here we go again with the 1st and 10, and the defensive battle continues. This run up the middle, no gain. The Carey defense swarming to the ball. Saili in there as well as Will Park. And they lose 3.
I am so impressed with both defensive lines. I'm going to really shout them both out right now because both teams have electric quarterbacks. Both teams have very elusive and powerful running backs. And it feels like the ball's just at the line of scrimmage the last 3 or 4 possessions on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, at the line of scrimmage or behind it.
Right, very true.
2nd and 12, 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Ward, the man in motion, Comes to the near side, back to the far side. Dietrich will throw. Nowhere to go. Here comes the pressure. Escaping the pocket, throwing on the run, out of bounds. Perkins had nowhere to go basically from the start. Impressive anytime you see a coverage stack at the 1A level. Remember, 8-man football, 11-man field.
It's really bizarre to me at this point that the ball just hasn't been moving.
Right.
Especially that first possession that Carey had. Then Dietrich was able to move the ball pretty well before the drop pass interception. Their next possession. Since then, I would wager neither team has gained more than 15 total yards in offense.
I think you're about right there. Yeah, it's a 3rd and long again. 3rd and 13. Perkins to throw. This time he's got some time. Now he's running out of it. He escapes the pocket. There he goes. Down the far sideline. A late flag comes in as Perkins cuts back to the near side of the field and is dropped down at the 28. There is a flag all the way back at the 34. So this might be coming back, and Dietrich already walking back. It is coming back.
No, I think that was a hold. I think the last one was a hold as well. I think the ref just held his hand really close to his chest, the one with Carey earlier. That would make more sense from where the flag was thrown. But 2 big holds that have really shut down both offenses the last 2 possessions.
And wipe out the gain of about 30 yards. And instead, pushing a 3rd and 12 back to a 3rd and 22. And Dietrich going to take another timeout. 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And it's just been, the story has been defenses. There's just no way around it. Both defenses playing just outstanding tonight.
Yeah, like you said, you don't really see many coverage sacks at this level, but you also don't see very many linebackers, defensive linemen in the backfield over and over again as well, because there's so much space back there. And we talked about the quarterbacks over and over again, and we'll continue to talk about how good they are and how fast they are, but it doesn't matter if you can't get any type of protection and you can't get any guys open downfield.
Yeah, it almost seems like to me that both quarterbacks are just holding on to the ball a little bit too long. You know, if it's not there, take off and go.
Well, and Perkins has had, I think, 3 different drops from different receivers as well, and so maybe overthinking, maybe I shouldn't throw it right there, even though he's open. Yeah. And then Wood, we haven't really, we saw him uncork 1 deep ball that was just outside the hands of Young, but apart from that, we haven't really seen him throw the ball. Every time that he's dropped back to pass, he's gone and scrambled. Might have had 1 quick slant or something, but for the most part, like you said, he's been holding on to the ball, trying to make a play on his own when he's got a great supporting cast around him as well.
Yeah, remember you had that long pass that you just mentioned there. Probably one that Matt Young probably says he should come up with. It was just out of his reach, just off of his fingertips. That one came back in the first quarter. This is 3rd and forever. 3rd and 22, and here comes another flag. Carey jumping this time over on the left side of the line. And Dietrich will get helped out just a little bit. Moves up to the 30. Problem is they got to get to the 48.
That's just a dent. That's really just a dent in the armor right now.
Perkins will roll to the near side. Here comes the pressure. He's going to take off and go down the far side. Does he have enough? No, he doesn't. He's out of bounds at the 42. And it's going to bring up a 4th down, although with 3rd and how long that was to pick up something, make 4th down a little bit easier. Although, remember, we did see Dietrich punt, or that rolling punt, I guess, the last time they were down at this area of the field. You saw their head coach, Carey, still say, bunted earlier. So we'll see what they decide to do here on 4th down.
Yeah, I'm sure both head coaches have a lot of things going through their mind right now of what a halftime speech could look like, because it's been uncharacteristically undisciplined on both sides of the ball, or both teams as well.
Yeah,
and feels like a lot of overthinking, yeah.
4th down and 8. Bad snap, Perkins corrals it over the middle, pass incomplete. Another turnover on downs, and this one will give Carey the ball at the Dietrich 41. So probably one of the shortest fields of the night here for Carey now.
And I think the last time they were in Dietrich territory was their only touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it was pretty close to the same spot. But starting in that position, that was the only score that we've seen tonight.
Just kind of goes to show what taking away the running game can do. Both these teams are having a hard time running the ball tonight. You'll see a play action here. Wood on the boot, trying to get the edge on the far side. And he picks up about 6. Pushed out of bounds at the 36 as we hit the halfway mark of the second quarter. I'd like to see more of that from Carey. Get the quarterback out of the pocket, get him on the move. I mean, we heard from their coaching staff before this one, he is what makes this offense go.
Yeah, we haven't seen many designed runs by him tonight.
Now another whistle here from the officials. Official timeout.
I wonder if they're a little worried about, I can't tell which player it is, but he was the one that got ran over by Preston Wood that last play, and he got up a little bit slow. Obviously, the NFL has a spotter now that goes and checks these things, but I wonder if the Whitecaps saw a little wooziness from the Dietrich defender there.
They did go over to the Dietrich safety. He is going to stay in the game. Now ready for action here again. Single back play action again. Wood will float this one. It's going to be caught by Young. Young down the sideline there. He goes. Touchdown, Carey. 36-yard touchdown reception by Matt Young, and Carey now up 2 possessions.
And you see how much establishing, even it was just one run, one good running play, opened up the pass there for Wood.
The 36-yard touchdown reception puts Carey up 2 scores now here on number 1 Dietrich. Dietrich, the number 1 team in the 1A classification. Carey going to go for 2. Young and Black in the split back formation. Wood will throw, escaping the pocket, dumps this one down to the flat, and trucking his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion is Young. So Young gets the touchdown. He gets the 2-point conversion. And Carey up 16 here on Dietrich on the road. You see some of the fans there on the sideline. A warm night here in mid-October now. How are we in mid-October already? That's incredible. 16-point lead, I should say, here for Carey. As you see some of the Carey cheerleaders down there on the sideline. Part of the advantage we have of, count them, 3 cameras tonight on IdahoSports.com. Our Gem State Game of the Week here on Magic Valley Game Night.
Yeah, that was my first experience with it, and I can say, I mean, I'm used to running one camera, but also, you know, doing a lot of other things, and I know you are as well. And it's nice to just kind of be moving the camera and talking. And
yeah, Will, Paul, and Leif did all the heavy lifting here today. They were solving tech issues just a couple minutes before we came on. You and I were sitting up here drinking Diet Cokes and kick our feet up. 5:28 left to play. The Dietrich offense still trying to find its legs a little bit as Carey will get set to kick it away. Gamino will have this teed up here at the 40, kicking away for the 3rd time here in the half. Remember, Dietrich did get the ball first, so as we approach halftime, something to keep in mind that Carey will receive the second half kickoff. Onside kick, they're gonna try, it's loose. Did it go out of bounds? Yo, it did not. Carey recovers it. Gabe Saili picked it up at the 40 just before it went out of bounds.
And that was close.
That was right
That was
on the edge.
really close. But the official's right there, so he can see the line perfectly. And that was about as good of an onside kick as you can have. Yes, I mean, they weren't expecting an onside kick, so there's only 2 guys over there. But hit into open space, just kept bouncing, cleared the second level, and it let your speedy gunners out there. to get the ball.
So this drive starting now at the Dietrich 40. The last drive started at the 41. Ended in a Michael Young 41-yard touchdown reception. Play action. Wood out to the far side, still with it, rolling. Now he's going to throw one down the far sideline, incomplete. Threw one up for grabs. He was looking for Sears. And it's incomplete with 5:05 to go here in the second quarter. It's kind of weird how this game is mimicking the game I did last week so well. It was I had number 1 Homedale, who went on the road into Weiser last week. Weiser just took it to him. Weiser got an early turnover. They cashed in. They had the early lead. Then they go for a surprise onside kick. They get it, and they go and score again and go up 2 scores.
Maybe the Carey coaching staff watching a little 4A football.
Yeah, I guess so. Over on the right side, Black still with it, throws a stiff arm, drag down for 35. And it's under 5 minutes to play, a 3rd and short coming up. I think it's just opposing coaches seeing that you got the number 1 team in the state, because Homedale was number 1 in the state at the 4A level last week. Seeing that you got the number 1 team in the state back on the heels a little bit, and then they go for the jugular a little bit, and they cashed in 2 weeks in a row.
Well, and like you said, Carey gets the ball to start the second half, and so any extra points here is just an extra advantage.
Wood to throw, has some time, throws this one down the near sideline. It's caught at the 12, pushed out of bounds at the 9. First to goal coming up. Gabe Saili bringing that one in.
And we talked about how good Wood's arm strength is and his accuracy. He throws like a quarterback. That's the best way to say it. He just throws like a quarterback and really showcases his arm talent on that play.
First and goal from the 9. 4.5 minutes to play here before halftime. Carey already up 2 scores, looking for another. Wood on the move, pass in and out of the hands of his receiver. It might have been a touchdown if he caught it cleanly. A.J. Black, the intended target. Instead, it's second down. Now, remember, in 1A football, you don't have, no one really has much of a kicking game. So field goals probably for both these teams out of the question. So still a lot of work to do here on this drive here for Carey, even though they have it inside the 10.
Yeah, and that bootleg has really been efficient for them the last 2 possessions. Obviously something they made an adjustment with.
Black in the backfield here in the shotgun. Wood's going to keep it on the quarterback keeper. Straight up the middle, cuts over to the right. Touchdown, Carey. It's Preston Wood's 2nd touchdown of the night, and it puts the Panthers up 22. And you just see a coaching staff over there on Carey's sideline that's feeling themselves a little bit. They roll the dice. It comes up with a couple 6s, and they cash in. 2-point conversion on its way here with 4:07 to go before the half. We'll go to the right side. Black with it, breaks the tackle, spins his way into the end zone. Carey, 3 touchdowns on the board now, and all 3 2-point conversions good as well. It is 24-0.
And just 3.5 minutes ago, it was 8-0.
Yeah, no kidding. Definitely momentum on the Carey sideline right now. 4 minutes left to play here before the half. Carey going to kick it away yet again. I'm sure Dietrich will try to be ready for any onside surprises here this time.
Well, if they go for it again and get it, then this is really going to put a damper on the Dietrich senior night.
Yeah, senior night here tonight at Dietrich. A team that probably expects to have a couple home playoff games as well. It's probably not the last game that they're going to play here on this home field, but certainly emotional night for any of these seniors, especially in these towns where you kind of come up playing with the same group of kids. You know, you grow up going and seeing the game at the high school when you're 8, 9, 10 years old. You say, I'm going to be out there one day, and then having it be senior night here tonight. Obviously, definitely emotional night tonight for the seniors, but they're down 24 right now.
They really need to score on this next possession. Need to do all they can to keep themselves in this ball game.
Still plenty of time in this game as well as Gamino kicks this one away. It's a deep kick this time. Takes a bounce at the 25. Dietrich finally picks it up. And look out, as the initial line had overextended itself a little bit, but the second wave is there to bring down Torgerson. And now the Dietrich offense will take the field once again. 4 minutes left to play here in the opening half. And for a Dietrich offense that just hasn't had a whole lot going its way basically all night.
And really, I can't think of many things that have gone super well for the Dietrich offense so far. They haven't really gone up the field much, but they have had success passing the ball. Just a couple drops, but
they're going to try a jet sweep here with Sneddon, and he gets up to the 40. So picks up about 4, trying to extend this Carey defense a little bit now.
And ideally, with 3:47 left on the clock, Dietrich scores a touchdown, and they take the entire rest of the quarter, giving Carey no opportunity to score after this. But that we haven't seen many possessions last longer than just 2 minutes. It feels like even Carey's scoring drives.
Yeah, even when they score, right? It's just about 4 or 5 plays. Second down, another man in motion. They're going to go back to the ground. They go to Sneddon once again. He just has a couple yards across the 40, down to the 42. Third down, and we'll call it 4 coming up. But normally this has been probably the shortest yardage third down Dietrich has had in a long time.
Yeah, I can't remember a situation where I felt like, okay, they're going to get this third down on this play instead of, okay, they're going to chip away at something and then go for it on fourth down.
This one a 3rd and 4 from its own 42. Dietrich with 3 receivers in the pattern. Quarterback Perkins raises his leg, gives to Sneddon. Sneddon has the first down across the 45 down to the 47. And just from a let's get this thing going standpoint, Dietrich needed that first down.
Yeah, Sneddon, he's their leading ball carrier if you take Perkins away. And they've gone doing 3 plays in a row there. I wouldn't be surprised to continue to see Sneddon with the ball. He's had a couple catches in this game as well, and maybe something that could ignite the Dietrich offense.
Sneddon in the backfield once again here. And quarterback keeper. Perkins pulling it, still on his feet. First down and a lot more. Down the far sideline, there he goes. Touchdown, Dietrich. 53 yards. And Dietrich finally on the board with 2:06 to play in the half.
And really the only big play that Dietrich has had apart from the early chuck and pray throw. And since then, it's really, I mean, I don't think I've seen a play go for more than 5, maybe 6 yards. And, man, did they need that.
They sure did. Lining up to go for 2 now is Dietrich. Perkins, the quarterback, just fresh off that 50-plus yard touchdown. He throws this one out to the flat. It is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hit. Dawson Olson, the senior, was there to break it up. So 24-6 now our score, 2:06 left to play before the half. And you said it there, Dallin. Dietrich needed that.
Yeah, and still with 2:06 on the clock, do we see Dietrich take a risk and kick an onside kick?
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Carey do it just a few minutes ago, so I would think that you just finally got some momentum on your side. I'd hate to just kick it right back to him.
Well, and the problem is, too, is doing something like that, the only 3 possessions that Carey has scored is when they started in plus territory.
Yeah, true.
And so anything to push them back here. They still how many timeouts do they have left? 2? Dietrich?
Dietrich has 1, Carey has 2.
Okay, so if Dietrich is able to get a stop here on first down, like a good stop, they might think about using that last timeout, maybe in second or third down territory. and giving them another opportunity. Or they might just be content saying, okay, we scored. Technically, we had the momentum. Now we're ready for the second half. But this will be an important last 2 minutes of this half.
It's the first time tonight that we've seen the Dietrich kickoff team.
And I was watching in pregame before the Carey team even arrived, and decent kickoff length.
It is Alvarado who's going to kick it away. And you said it, end over end kick. Sails all the way back to the 5 before it bounces into the end zone. Carey will start at the 20.
Maybe a little better than decent.
Yeah. Well, here comes a late flag. There was a little pushing and shoving after the play. So one thing is for certain, this drive won't start at the 20. We'll see who the penalty is against. And it is after the play. It's an unsportsmanlike going against Carey. So this will push the Panthers back to the 10. It's just half the distance to the goal, even though it's a 15-yard penalty. And now Carey with its worst starting field position of the night. You're backed up at its own 10. Wood on the keeper. Up the middle, he's got some room. Here he comes across the 20, picks up a block at the 30. Makes a move at the 40, still on his feet. There he goes to the 35, cuts back to the 30. He's at the 20, throws a stiff arm, pulled down at the 15. Completely flipping the field, the quarterback Preston Wood.
And I think he might have taken that, he might have saw his team starting on the 10-yard line and said, okay, that just means I have more field.
Yeah, means I have more room to run.
And big tackle by Chase Norman there as well, because that should have been a for sure touchdown.
And there's only 1:30 left in the half, too, so Wood going under center after the big run, gives off to A.J. Black, nothing. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Torgerson again, making a big play on defense. We talked about him early. Haven't said his name for a while on defense, but he's made a good impact on the defensive line, getting penetration into the backfield, and especially as this last minute goes down on the clock, they're going to need him to come up big.
1:05 left to play before the half. Preston Wood ripped off the biggest run of the night, going all the way from his own 10 down to the Dietrich 15. On the play action boot, this pass dropped, thrown at the feet of the intended target, Sears, and it's all of a sudden 3rd down and 8 now. And a timeout taken by Carey. So down, let's go ahead and talk about, you might decide, I didn't see who it was, but the Dietrich player who came up with that tackle might be one of the biggest plays of the night if Carey, or Dietrich, I should say, can hold them here.
Yeah, Chase Norman making the big tackle on the play, because Preston Wood, he's about as fast as anybody definitely in 1A, but he might be even in 2A, 3A, 4A. And as he got down there, he looked a little bit tired, but in those moments, a lot of time you see players just kind of dogging it down, like, oh crap, we lost the play. Oh well, I guess it's just gonna happen. And it was a tough tackle too. He pulled him down by the shoulder. Wood was trying to stiff arm him. We've seen Wood stiff arm a couple of defenders through the night, and that was huge. And if they are able to make a stop here as they go into halftime, I have to think that Dietrich feels all right about what's happened.
Yeah, and remember, we said it earlier in the broadcast, we'll say it again, Carey will get the ball to start the second half. And so with 53 seconds to go before the half, it could be one of those situations where Carey scores and then gets the ball right back. But they have a 3rd and 8 here. 3rd and 8 from the 12-yard line. He's going to motion a receiver out to the near side. Wood on the keeper. Wood looking for some space to the near side. Runs into a wave of Blue Devils. Does pick up about 5. So a big 4th down coming up now. So the clock is going to move under 40 seconds as Carey gets the play in from the side. 4th down and 4. Be 4th and 4 here from the 6. Clock down to 23 seconds. Wood in the shotgun. He's going to keep. Wood on the right side trying to find the corner. Has the first down into the end zone. Touchdown, Carey. The 3rd touchdown of the night for Preston Wood, putting Carey up 30-6 with 13 seconds to go in the half.
Absolute knife to the heart for the Dietrich defense there, because they stayed strong for essentially 4 consecutive plays there. And just, I mean, in that case, offense is just better than defense sometimes, and Preston Wood was faster than anybody else in the field on that play.
Yeah, sometimes it's about the Jimmies and the Joes, right?
That's right.
Gamino, the running back, they send Black in motion. Play action, Wood. Floats one to Black. Got it. Carey 4 for 4 now on 2-point conversions. 13 seconds to go in the half. 32-6. Number 1 versus number 2 so far tonight. It's been all number 2.
Yeah, in this quarter alone, I have to think of my math. What is it, 20? I can't even think of math. 32 minus 8. I'm a teacher. I should know this. 24? 24?
You're asking a comms major now about math.
24 points this quarter for the Carey offense. And we talked about it early on. It felt like Carey was up by a lot more, but the scoreboard didn't reflect that. And, I mean, it's kind of caught up to them.
Yeah, they're up by a lot more now. Dietrich's definitely got some things to figure out here at the half. It's been all Carey in this first half. Preston Wood has 3 touchdowns, a touchdown reception by Matthew Wood as well. Those are the 4 touchdowns here tonight so far from the Panther offense. Oh, there you go. Paul Kingsbury from the truck. Oh, Leif. Leif's on the camera now. There you go. Leif Morrison on the truck. As this one end over end hits at the 11. Dietrich will try to bring it out. 10 seconds to go in the half. Trying to find a seam down to the 35. Still on his feet to the 40, down to the 39. 4 seconds to go here in the half. So we got 2 trucks then. Paul's in one, Leif's in the other.
Yeah, like you said, full broadcast tonight, and angles we're not able to get very often.
Yeah, right. 3 cameras and 2 pickup trucks.
1A football.
Yeah. From a 1A town. You gotta love that.
I love it.
Hard to get more Idaho than that, right? 4 seconds to go here in the half. As we see the Dietrich coaching staff addressing its team. Here, a lot to discuss here at the halftime for the Blue Devils.
And I mean, yes, Carey's going to be in essentially like a prevent defense here, but the last play that Dietrich had on offense was a 53-yard touchdown run, and so obviously we know that there is a chance to use this field and still make a big play here.
So this drive will be 1 play, starting from the 40. As Dietrich will break the huddle, and let's just kind of make things even tougher for the Blue Devils is that Carey gets the ball to start the second half. Starts with a stop on the other side. Just got to go one step at a time. Perkins to throw, rolls out to the far side. Clock hits 000, and Perkins is taken down at the 40. No gain, and we have reached halftime. Our score at the half, 32-6. Carey dominating Dietrich here on senior night from Dietrich. Number 1 versus number 2 being dominated by number 2. 32-6 as we hit the break here on IdahoSports.com.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're valley-wide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange,
And not all our steaks are ribeyes.
but wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road.
Belts strapped,
And dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Halftime here from Dietrich. It's been all Carey so far in this one. The Panthers, the number 2 team in the state, leading this one 32-6 here on IdahoSports.com. We want to thank Project Filter, Valley-wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety here tonight on Magic Valley Game Night. It is the Gem State Game of the Week here on IdahoSports.com. Lucas Gephardt, Dallin Fryer, bringing you coverage of this one here from Dietrich. Will Kingsbury producing tonight. Paul Kingsbury and Leif Morrison on the cameras from the truck beds here tonight from Dietrich. So, Dallin, let's go ahead and get into this here. It started out, both offenses I thought looked pretty good on their first drives.
Yeah.
After that, defenses just took over, and we saw an early touchdown by Carey and a 2-point conversion. And then we just kind of saw this game be played literally between the 40s. And it was just kind of back and forth. They'd get 5 yards, turnover on downs. They'd get 8 yards, turnover on downs. 12 yards, turnover on downs. We saw that for a little bit. And then it finally seemed like the Carey offense figured it out. And they started clicking. They get a touchdown, go up 2 scores. We have a surprise onside kick. They get it back. They score again. Now all of a sudden, Dietrich way back on their heels. And Carey adding another score right at the end of the half after having its worst field position of the night, starting all the way back at its own 10. Preston Wood, the quarterback, had a run of, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, about 85 yards, we'll call it, all the way down to setting Carey up with a 1st and goal. They punch it in a couple plays later, leave Dietrich with no time on the clock, and to finish things off, they get the ball back at the start of the second half.
Yeah, and Coach Saili, for the game plan this week, one thing he said was that the offensive line needs to block efficiently and effectively the whole game, and they only go as far as their front line drags them. And I think that is a very good reflection of what happened in that game, because when the offensive line was not producing, Wood had no space, Young had no space, Black had no space. When the offensive line was producing, Wood had time. He got outside the sticks, or outside the hashes and moved the sticks. Guys were open downfield. They discovered a couple holes in the Dietrich defense. And on defense, I mean, yes, Dietrich had one big play, but apart from that, they've been tough as nails.
Yeah, they really have. And both defenses, we said it early on in this one, have been playing very well, and the Carey defense has played very well the entire night. But you just feel like Carey just figured it out first, and I think there's still a chance here for Dietrich to figure it out. But and you kind of said they did score a touchdown late in that first half, and it kind of seemed like, okay, now they're starting to get some momentum. So going into the second half, you're the number 1 team in the state. You know, you're undefeated, way back on your heels now. Haven't dealt with something like this all year. How are you addressing this if you're the coach?
Well, one, you've been saving this halftime speech all season.
Yeah, I think
you have those often.
Some paint off the walls.
Absolutely, yeah. and especially on senior night, you give the historic. This is your senior night. You'll always remember this night's speech. And in 1A football, with it only being 8-man football, explosive plays dominate. And they're only, two explosive plays and a couple defensive stops from being within 1 to 2 scores of this game, if they're able to convert on the 2-point conversions. And I think that's the big message, because we saw how fast Carey flipped the game. Because after the first quarter, it's 8-0. And then after the second quarter, if you just count the scores, it's 24-6, which if you look at it that way, 32-6 doesn't sound as horrible.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I think just looking at the details, looking back at what they really want to do, offensively, it hasn't been working. Just to put it plainly, it hasn't been working, and they haven't been able to really move the ball. What we did see on that last possession as they scored, Sneddon was able to get a lot more involved into the game. We hadn't said his name very much throughout the night. And Perkins was able to finally get some space when other people were also contributing.
Yeah. Yeah, you said 32-6 doesn't sound maybe as bad as it does in other classifications, because these are what 1A games look like. You get scores in the 60s and 70s sometimes. Dietrich so far tonight on pace for what would be by far its lowest point total of the year. Up to this point, the least amount of points that Dietrich has scored in a game has been 30, and that was here at home back on September the 6th against Rockland. But you have 42 against Mackey, as we mentioned, 30 against Rockland, 74 against Camas County, 62 at Rockland, 58 against Richland, 62 at Hanson. So this is an offense that once they get it clicking, they can put some points on the board. The question will be, can they keep Carey at a reasonable amount where they can go and catch them?
And I don't know if you could really count that last offensive possession as a possession for Dietrich, because it was only one play. So if they look back on their whole thing, they can just kind of forget about the first, I don't even know how many possessions, 7 or 8 possessions of the game on offense, and go, okay, the last time we had the ball, we scored. Yeah. Just checking the clock over and over and over again.
Right now, it's through Ideal Idaho, which is Idaho's college savings program. You can enter the Ideal and 8-man PrepCast drawing. It can be used for college, trade schools, graduate programs, and more across the nation. You do not need an account to enter. What you do need to do to enter is click on the link in your webcast player. It's the Ideal Idaho's college savings program link, the Ideal Idaho link in our webcast player on your screen right now. This contest is limited to families with children who are attending or planning to attend only 1A or 2A schools, and that's either a public or private school. So kind of a cool program that they're doing there of trying to get kids a head start who are from some of Idaho's smallest towns. So that's what Ideal Idaho has got going. Check out their link in the webcast player. $529 going to your $529 account. So here at halftime, Dietrich up 32-6. We'll take a quick timeout here on IdahoSports.com. Bring you second half action.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
Getting set for the start of the second half. Carey with the big lead, going to start with the ball. here in this second half. Lucas Gephardt along with Dallin Fryer bringing you coverage of this Gem State Game of the Week here on Magic Valley Game Night. Number 1, Dietrich versus number 2, Carey, here from Dietrich. We have Will Kingsbury producing tonight, Paul Kingsbury, Leif Morrison on the sideline cameras. Dallin running our main camera here up in the booth. The whole production team here tonight for Gem State Game of the Week. So A.J. Black back deep to receive. So 12 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. That's how long the quarters are here in high school. So Dietrich getting set to kick this one away. Here with Alvarado. Sends this one in the air, sends Black back to the 5 as he brings this one out. Black met at the 25-yard line and dropped a physical collision there at the 25. Torgerson was there. So this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Quarterback Preston Wood. You don't see this a whole lot in 8-man with 4 wide receivers in an empty set. Quarterback draw. Wood still on his feet, and there he goes. First down and a lot more for Wood as he's across the 50 down to the 42. Preston Wood, tough to take down, showing off the legs once again. And it's a first down all the way across the 45 down to the 42.
I'm telling you, I think Preston Wood likes being deep in his own territory.
Yeah.
Because it just looks good on the stat sheet for him. He that puts him over, 130 yards rushing probably?
Easily.
Maybe more.
Yeah. And he's got 80-plus on one run, and he just picked up, 40 yards there. Play action. He's on the move again. Now he's going to cut back to the near side of the field, and there he goes again. And slides down at the 42. Pickup of only about a yard. He ran a lot more than just a yard as he went all the way to the far side, came all the way back to the near side. Picks up just a couple, though. Second down.
Yeah, I think he saw big Brody Torgerson and said, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'll pass.
I'm a little tired.
Second down and 8 coming up now for Carey. The Panthers can punch this thing in here. They would really take control of this thing. Already well in control here. Early stages of the third quarter.
All right, I'm on you, Padre.
A.J. Black, the running back. Wood will throw. Pumps. Now he's going to throw one down the far sideline. That pass is caught at the 20. Cutting back at the 10. And running into a host of Blue Devil defenders. Now is Shears, who has the big first down catch. Sets up another 1st and goal for Carey.
And Sears was one that Coach Saili said he doesn't get a lot of credit for what he does because he doesn't show up big on the stat sheet. But he is absolutely one of those people that they love having on their team. He's only a junior, so he'll be back next year and making an even bigger impact on this team. But, man, he's made his impact tonight as well.
So this ball sits at the 10 now. 1st and goal is what they'll call it for Carey. Looking to add to its lead. Gamino, the single back. Play action, Wood. Will roll to that far side, still on his feet. Wood throws on the run. Pass is caught. Touchdown, A.J. Black. So Wood, his 2nd throwing touchdown of the night. This one finds A.J. Black, who also has an interception tonight as well. And Carey just continues to pile it on.
Yeah, great catch by Black there, too, because as Wood didn't have his first read and then wanted to run, wasn't open there. Good patience from Black to still stay in open space, knowing that his quarterback was going to find him.
2-point try coming up now for Carey. Under 10 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Wood on the draw. And he finds his way back into the end zone. 2-point try is good. Make it 40-6. Now just 6 points away from the 40-point threshold of a running clock as well. Still a lot of time left, though. And we'll see what kind of adjustments Dietrich has made at the break. An offense that Dietrich averaging 55 points a game. It's kind of interesting coming into this game, and you just look at pure stat-wise, teams that almost mirror each other. Dietrich, 55 points a game. Scoring-wise, Carey averaging 59 a game. Defensively, Dietrich gives up 14 a game. Carey gives up 15 a game. Point differential for Dietrich, plus 41. Point differential for Carey, plus 44. Stats that are almost identical.
Yeah, and tonight we're just seeing one team is executing, one team hasn't quite executed throughout the night as well. I think, if I remember right, Carey is averaging over, I think it's 70 points per game in conference play.
Yeah, in conference
and
play.
only allowing, I think it's 5, which obviously isn't possible, but just based on, shutting out a couple teams, couple 6s, couple 8s.
Yeah, the
but
average
it's something
there,
close
right.
to there.
Yeah, averaging 70 points a game against conference opponents and allowing less than 5 points a game against conference opponents.
And they've really ramped it up with conference play going. They, like we said in the pregame, they believe they're the number 1 team in the state, and they're showing it tonight.
Yeah, they certainly have shown it tonight. They're up 40-6. As this end-over-end kick takes a bounce at the 10 and rolls into the end zone. As Perkins watched that one coast into the end zone. Dietrich's got to get it going on offense. They got to get it going right now.
And it starts with Perkins. He's their leader. He's been their offensive push. They have not, like we said earlier, they have not passed the ball very much, and with a very much efficiency, under 50% completion percentage this year for Perkins. They might have to open it up here a little bit more, though, in the second half with this deficit.
With 9:38 to play, Perkins will bring the offense out on the field. First drive here in the second half. Man in motion coming to the near side. They throw it out to the flat on the screen. Stepping out of one tackle out to the 29, pickup of 9. As that was Norman on the reception on the screen pass, second 1.
And really just, apart from the touchdown, no real explosive plays for this Dietrich offense. That might be the second longest play of the night for them.
Second and 1. And they're going to hand this one to Eli Weber, and he's going to try to find the edge, has the first down. And Dietrich will move the chains. And a first down chant coming from a crowd that's been held relatively quiet here tonight.
Yeah, we don't have the official stats in front of us, but I can't imagine they've had more than 5 maybe 3 or 4 first downs.
Yeah. They get one here. It's a fresh set of downs here at the 32. 8.5 to go here in the third quarter. Perkins going to keep it. Spun to the ground just short of the 35. Picks up just a couple. Difference has just been part of the difference has just been the 2 quarterbacks. One has just been able to run wild.
Yes.
That's Preston Wood. Ever since about halfway through that second quarter. And Carey's done a good job of bottling up Perkins and containing him. Second down and 8. Snedden, the man in motion. They try to throw it to him in the flat. It's too low. Incomplete. Third down and 8 coming up. So with the 3rd and 8 coming up now, under 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Dietrich will break the huddle. They're going to send 3 receivers out into the formation. Perkins in the gun. They're going to pump fake the screen. Has a man down the sideline. Just led him too far. That was Isaac Ward, who couldn't catch up to that. A perfect play call for Dietrich as they've hit the screen a couple times. They pump fake the screen, then try to hit Ward on the fly route, and Perkins just led him a step too far. 4th down and 8 now.
You know, I have to say as well, I think, I just realized this. We haven't seen number 12, Eli Weber, on the field much for the Dietrich offense. He's somebody that he has been battling injuries, and that could be one reason why this offense really hasn't been able to click tonight.
Yeah, and we know Isaac Ward's been battling some injuries as well, and they're going to punt this one away. No one back deep to receive for Carey, so this is going to take a favorable bounce for Dietrich and roll inside the 10. So 7:33 left to play. And if Carey scores a touchdown, they don't even need a 2-point conversion. They score a touchdown, they'd be up 40. And at that point, the clock would run regardless. That's the 40-point rule here in high school football.
And both times we've seen Carey this deep, it's been Preston Wood time. He's had 2 explosive runs. We'll see if they go just to a straight QB run here as well.
Well, they're lining up like it right now. It's an empty set. Carey's run quarterback draw out of this several times tonight as he's going to send Black in motion. He's going to drop back to throw this time. Throws it in the flat, finds Black. Black gets a block, spins out of a tackle. 1st down to the 25. It's slung to the ground to 30. The Carey sideline loving it as their offense has it going here tonight on the road at Dietrich.
Feels like the flats have been open a lot in the passing game as well, whether they've been doing play action or even just out in shotgun formation as well. The middle of the field maybe not quite as open, and same thing with the running game as well, as they've gotten more outside the hashes. But overall, just a Carey offensive domination.
Again, an empty set. Wood will throw out of it. Short pass is caught. And taking a knee at the 35 is Sears. Pickup of 5. Carey offense on the move here once again. Under 7 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
And you got to feel for the Dietrich defense at this point in the game too, because they battled in that first half. Just overall in the first half. And eventually, if there's no offensive output, it can be really draining going on the field over and over again.
Yeah, especially when you have a quarterback like Wood that's just running through this defense. As Wood's going to throw again. Finds a receiver in the flat down on the near side. That's Black. Has another 1st down across the 50. Brought down at the Dietrich 45. Another Carey 1st down. And the Carey offense starting to really get into a rhythm now. They've been in a rhythm for a while. And the story of the night, I think, it's obviously Preston Wood and what he's done with his legs. Has a couple throwing touchdowns as well. But the defense has just kept one of the highest scoring offenses in the state in check tonight.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Saili shares that with the team after the game as well. Mm-hmm. He knows the offense can score points.
See Wood directing traffic, telling Saili to stay put. Wood's on the move again. Spins out of a tackle. Now he's going to throw on the run. Pass complete at the 41. Stepping out of a tackle. Another 1st down to the 25. Sears on the reception. And it's another 1st down now to the 26. As this 3rd quarter moving right along, under 5.5 minutes to play. Remember how much Carey was running the ball early in the game? They totally abandoned that, other than these quarterback draws.
Yeah, no more I formation.
Yeah. It's been 4 wide the whole night. Wood to throw. escapes the pocket, picks up another first down with his legs, runs over a defender inside the 10. The ball came loose, rolls close to the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Everything going Carey's way tonight.
I think that was Stockton Sears that was able to recover the ball. Definitely not something that you see very often on a fumble recovery touchdown as he dives for the pylon. Normally you see them diving on the ball, but the ball squirted perfectly to him, and he fully lunges for the touchdown, makes it a highlight.
When it's your night, it's your night. And it's been Carey's night here at Dietrich, 46-6. They're up by 40 now.
Now the only question is, can they keep the 2-point conversion streak going?
Yeah, that's right. They've been perfect so far tonight. Back to the split back formations. And they're going to go back to the ground, and they don't get it. So the 2-point streak comes to an end, but they've reached that 40-point threshold. 4:50 to go here in the third quarter. 46-6. And a game that's going to send some ripple effects across the whole 1A landscape, I think.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point in the season, when you see number 1 and number 2 with just 2 or 3 weeks left in the year, you have to think, okay, is this a state championship preview?
Sure.
And,
yeah.
I mean, it still could be. You never know. It just hasn't been Dietrich's night, but it's been Carey. It wasn't Carey's night initially either, but they're able to really battle through and show their leadership, I think, as well on Preston Wood's side, and then obviously several contributors on defense as they've really made a difference in this game.
These two teams met back in the 2021 state semifinals and the 2020 state championship game as well. So when Carey is at this level, they tend to run into each other in the playoffs. They haven't run into each other in the playoffs since Carey's been back down here at the 1A or 1A Division II level. This very well could be the first year that happens since dropping back down. We'll have to wait and see come playoff football time. We try to get to as many games as we can, whether it's audio or video. End over end kick is away from the 10. Trying to find a seam, now trying to find the edge, looking for it is Perkins. He's off to the races. Across the 50, still on his feet all the way down to the 32. There is a flag sitting down at the 42 though, or no, that's the tee.
I was going to say, I don't know who was making a bad block there.
Yeah, right. It looked like it was a flag. It was just the kicking tee.
Yeah, now you can see the Carey sideline. I don't even know what to call him. The young man tee retriever.
Yeah.
Coming to get the tee. He wasn't able to quite do his job on that because of the long return.
Hey, Boise State's got a T-Dog, too. Idaho State does, too. We both know that. Both spent some time in Pocatello. I was working for the school paper at ISU in Pocatello. I wrote a story on the T-Dog. It was one of the coolest stories I wrote. As they try a jet sweep here, this one's going to be wrapped up, bottled up at the 40.
You have to give a shout out to Smitty Fari.
Yeah, yeah.
She was one of my inspirations at ISU. Always has those border collies trained up.
Yes, she does. Yeah, she does.
There was merchandise for him. A good follow on Instagram. Anybody who loves a T-Dog, Ripken the Bat Dog. He's a bat dog in AA, I believe. But he also does tees for NC State.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
they put the cam on him, and it's great.
Yeah. Second down and 10. It's Weber in motion. They're going to try to throw on the flat, and the throws there in the flat, those are gimme throws, and Perkins just hasn't been able to connect on them.
Yeah, it feels like either Perkins hasn't been able to make the throw, or his receivers have let him down on the other end as well.
Brings up a 3rd and 10. And clock is moving here after the incomplete pass because we did hit that 40-point mark. 3rd down and 10.
We are. On main still.
Low snap. Perkins delivers across the middle. That's his best throw of the night. Has a first down. Receiver cut down just across the 30. That one was a dart. So he finds the receiver for a first down.
The first time we've really seen Perkins, I think, throwing with all of his arm strength as well.
Yeah.
A lot of them he's kind of been trying to catch guys in the flat or just on quick slants, but that one he showed what he's capable of.
It was Ward on the reception. 1st and 10 now from the 29. Perkins on the keeper, up the middle. Has some room, steps over a defender at the 20, dropped at the 15. Perkins has another first down here for Dietrich.
Yeah, we mentioned it last drive, but we haven't seen a lot of Weber, and he's been involved in a lot of plays so far this possession, really for the first time that I can recall tonight.
So 1st and 10 now from the 15 as Dietrich will break the huddle. Split back formation now for the Blue Devils. Toss. And this one was blown up. Nowhere to go from the start. Gamino, the tackle for loss. It's a loss of 5. Make it 8. Loss of 8.
Gamino may be the smallest in height and weight in for a defensive end in the entire state. 5'3", 145.
Soaking wet.
But how many times have we said his name tonight?
Yeah, well, he's quick, too. He can fly off that edge. 2nd and long. We're under a minute to play here in the 3rd. Perkins will send a man in motion. He'll throw, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to scramble. There he goes down the far side, dropped at the 15. So 3rd down and 10 coming up now. 25 seconds to go. Clock's still moving. When we hit the quarter break, I guess we'll talk a little college football, see what's on tap for tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Big day for big-time college football tomorrow.
Yes, there is. If you're a college football, well, last week everyone thought was going to be a dud, and it ended up being the most exciting college football week in how many years?
Teams lost. As the 3rd quarter expires, and we've reached the end of 3. As we head to the 4th quarter, 46-6 our score. So we'll start locally, I guess. Boise State going to the islands, to Hawaii. The story, obviously, with Boise State has to be Ashton Genty, a Heisman favorite.
Oh, man.
Right now. We have a little podcast that we do on IdahoSports.com. Myself and Ryan Luke do it every week. Drops every Friday morning. It's called the Fighting Tater Show, where we just talk about college football, kind of what's going on at the next level. And we threw up a graphic yesterday. Ashton Genty basically doubling through 5 games. His stats are doubling the last 3 Heisman winners up to that point. So through 5 games, he has like twice as many yards, twice as many touchdowns. On pace to break Barry Sanders' all-time college football rushing record. He's been a treat to watch for us over there in Boise. But U of I going to be on ESPN2 tomorrow as well as they go up to Bozeman. And then ISU, Idaho State, hosting Portland State. Fresh off a win at Cal Poly. Bengals beat Cal Poly at Cal Poly on a game-winning field goal last week.
Yeah, I believe that was the first time ISU has beat Cal Poly since 2004. At Cal Poly, I should say. Which is really a momentum builder. What Cody Hawkins is doing down in Pocatello is really something that Pocatello has not seen. Definitely didn't see when I was there. Definitely didn't see when you were there either.
Yeah, they had one good year when I was there. Perkins breaks the pocket, delivers. This pass is incomplete. Trying to find his man down that sideline. My senior year, they were good. That was the last year that Tanner Goller was there. They beat Idaho. It was a sold-out.
Okay, that was my first year at ISU.
Yeah, that was the coolest football game I had ever been to. When I was at ISU.
Yeah, and haven't sold out since, but they've gotten close this year. It's gotten a lot closer. I'm not going to say that it's sold out by any means, but it's gotten closer.
The timeout taken by Dietrich. So this will stop the clock. One of the few things that will stop the clock here when you have that 40-point running clock. But no, Bengals got it going right now. I really do like the Cody Hawkins hire. He's a guy that I grew up in Colorado, so I remember when his dad and Cody came over, and Cody was the quarterback at Colorado. Dad was the coach, so I remember seeing that. And then obviously moving here with Cody being a Bishop Kelly graduate, obviously his dad, Dan Hawkins, coaching at Boise State. So to have those Idaho roots back in Pocatello, I think that's done a lot for recruiting, especially recruiting the state of Idaho for them. Brought a lot of energy into that program. That's been one of the better hires that they've had, at least since I've been in Idaho, which is approaching 10 years now.
Yeah, well, and even just if Idaho State is able to beat Portland State, they have a winning record, which I don't even know the last time that was, unless it was a 1-0 against like Montana Western, you know, or something.
Yeah,
but
sure.
But overall, to have all 3 Idaho schools playing good football, I couldn't say the last time that happened either.
Right, yeah. Perkins throws incomplete. And that was 4th down, so that's going to turn it back over to Carey. But, yeah, I mean, U of I right now is one of the best teams in the FCS level. The Big Sky, about half of the Big Sky is ranked right now in the FCS, which is crazy. It's, you know, I would say Montana State ranked, Idaho's ranked, but then you look down at the 20s, you have schools like Weber State, Sacramento State, Northern Arizona.
That's
also
the surprise for me, man.
Yeah.
They not to say they haven't been good. They've been fine for most schools, not for the Big Sky because the Big Sky is so dominated by the Montana schools and Sac State, UC Davis, and whatnot. But man, Northern Arizona.
Early flag flies as Wood takes off down the far sideline. Flag sitting back at the 20, and Carey will start to march this one back. But I mean, you know, so that's kind of what's going on locally across the state. Boise State should win at Hawaii. I think U of I, Montana State, I think that's going to be a great game at Bozeman. And then hopefully ISU can get a little bit of a winning streak going tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, and I'd say one more thing about Ashton Janty. Man, he just, when you watch him, so I listened, I'm obsessed with fantasy football, so I listened to a fantasy football show. If an NFL fantasy football show is talking about a college running back, that's when you know it's just reached like next level for him.
Yeah.
And when you watch him run, like if I'm an Idaho high school coach, I'm like, okay, watch him. He was not a 5-star running back.
Yeah.
He did not go to these Power 5 schools, but he is not only just as good, he's better than anybody else in the country.
Pass is caught by Will Park. 9.5 to go. And he's out past the 30 down to the 34. I've been fortunate enough living in the Boise area, in the Treasure Valley. I've been watching Genty play since he was a freshman. And even when he was a freshman, I was like, okay, this kid's going to be good. I didn't think he was going to be this good.
Well, and Boise State's had a pretty good running back factory going the last,
without a doubt,
7-8 years now?
Going back to Doug Martin, probably.
Yeah. And maybe not a ton of really longevity NFL careers, but definitely guys that make an impact on the pro level.
Yeah. This is a catch by Gamino down to the 40. Under 9 minutes to play. Yeah, you have Doug Martin, you have guys like Jay Ajayi who have played at the next level. Current guys, you have Alexander Madison, who with the injured Samir White is getting some starting time in Vegas. And you have Jeremy McNichols, who all he's doing right now is scored goal line touchdowns for the Commanders.
Man, the Commanders, they are fun to watch.
Yeah, they are.
Fourth best offense in NFL history currently.
Wow. I knew they were good. I didn't know they were that good.
They're behind, well, let's see. I should say Jaden Daniels is the 4th best quarterback in NFL history first season-wise, behind Tom Brady's undefeated season, Aaron Rodgers' MVP season 2 years ago, and Peyton Manning's second to last year in Denver.
Wow.
So that's some pretty good company to be in for the rookie.
Last carry was by A.J. Black. This is a 3rd and short, and Wood's just going to push the pile forward. He's still on his feet down to the 45, finally brought down at the 43. 7.5 minutes left to play. As Carey moving the chains here once again. And then big-time college football tomorrow. You got Ohio State at Oregon, which again we talked about it on our show this week. If you're in Boise, you're a BSU fan. Pains you got to root for Oregon. If Oregon wins the Big Ten, that is only going to help out Boise State and their chances to make the college football playoff, which the longer this season rolls along becomes more and more of a reality. You even start thinking in the back of your mind, like, man, maybe they could host a game in Boise. Who knows? But it's going to launch one down the far sideline, short, incomplete. Flag does fly in at the 40, back at the line of scrimmage.
I couldn't even imagine a college football playoff game hosted in Boise.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Well, they're ranked. This penalty is going to be declined. They're ranked 17th right now, I think. And as a quick refresher, 12 teams make the playoffs. The top 4 teams get byes, but the top 5 conference champions all make the playoff. Doesn't necessarily determine the seeding of that, but you go to think the top 4 teams are going to be your Big Ten winner, your SEC winner, Big 12 ACC winner, right? So that's probably what your top 4 teams are going to be. As this one's slung in the flat, Camino makes the catch. Camino still on his feet. That's the first down to the 31. Clock under 6 minutes to play. As Carey picks up another first down. But kind of where I'm going with this is they're ranked 17th right now, so they're getting respect in the polls. If their only loss is a game-winning field goal at Oregon, and Oregon goes and wins the Big Ten, and they're already 17th, and let's say they run through the rest of their schedule, they cruise to a Mountain West championship, could they climb to 8? Maybe. And that's what they would have to be. They'd have to be 8, 7, 6, or 5, nationally ranked by the playoff committee. That's another important factor to Scamino tackled at the 30. Another important thing to remember as we approach that is the committee that determines that seeding. It is not the 8 people.
Well, and with what's been happening in the SEC, especially the last couple weeks, I mean, there could be multiple 2-loss teams in that conference as it continues on in the season. I mean, nobody had Vanderbilt over Alabama. If you did, then you made a lot of money. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But even just throughout, and even the ACC, it's a little more. It's not a locked-in number 1 like it used to be with Clemson over and over and over again.
Right.
There could be a number of different teams in that threshold from all those different conferences. Big 12, I have no idea what could happen in the Big 12 right now.
Big 12's wide open.
My twin brother works at the University of Utah, and so obviously I have a lot of insight on the University of Utah. Cam Rising back tonight, finally, after 18 game decisions in a row, time decisions in a row, but actually
after
back
6
tonight.
years of game time decisions.
Yeah, and but BYU's looked really good.
Kansas State, Colorado.
Arizona's looked really good.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good teams in that conference, but I don't know that any of them are necessarily elite teams either.
Mm-hmm.
And so that could be a spot where Boise State kind of slides in above that champion.
So then the question becomes if Boise State is Mountain West champions, is at a holding call that pushes Carey back. What's going to throw? Dumps this one down to the flat. It's caught. Down to the 35, throwing a stiff arm, still on his feet, stepping out of another tackle to the 25 and dropped at the 19. As that was Gabe on the reception there, who's still down. And he's back up on his feet, and he'll go jog to the sideline down to the 19, all the way down to 3:40 left to play in this one. But just to kind of cap off our college football discussion there is, let's say there's a world where Oregon wins the Big Ten, Boise State runs through the rest of its schedule, wins the Mountain West, and the highest rated Big 12 team has, let's say, 3 losses. Is there a world where they're number 4? I'm just
It
throwing it out
doesn't
there.
seem possible, but I'm not going to count it out.
Yeah. This one on the ground to Black. He's dropped at the 19. And here comes 2 more late flags. Check out these flags. Clock continuing to move here with, we'll go under 3 minutes. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Carey is the call here. So it'll push the Panthers back.
A.J. Black took exception to something on that play. And that's one thing the coaching staff, when you're up 46-6, you can't be happy about.
Right. So do want to touch on one thing before we hit triple zeros, as our clock is down to about 2.5 minutes here. You may have seen it or not, but there's a green 78 painted on the field at both 25s here at Dietrich. That is to honor Rick Estelle, who is the father of Coach Garrett Estelle, who unfortunately dealt with kidney disease. Green is the color of kidney disease awareness, and that number is to honor Rick, who coached at Dietrich for about 6 or 7 years. This ball thrown up for grabs, and it is caught. That's caught by A.J. Black, or Matthew Young, rather, who went up and just grabbed that one. He's brought down at the 2. And Carey knocking on the door once again here with under 2 minutes to play. Rick wore the number 78, actually played at nearby Shoshone because Dietrich did not have a team yet. And so graduated from Shoshone, went on to coach at Dietrich for about 6 or 7 years. And so the team, to honor Rick, painted the green 78 on the field, wearing the green 78 on their helmets as well, as Carey adds another touchdown with 1:22 left to play here in the game, making it 52-6. And so the clock will stop there for the 2-point conversion. Once we're done wrapping up here, as we will award our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, so be sure to stay tuned for that. You're on the Gem State Game of the Week. Play action, dumping this one into the end zone. That one is caught. 2-point conversion good. Sears the reception. Clock down to a minute, as it's now 54-6. So as we kind of look at the ramifications of what this is going to do to the 1A classification, one thing's obvious. Carey's going to be the #1 team next week.
I think so.
Should be getting all the first place votes. All 10 of the media, I don't vote in the media poll, all 10 of the people that did vote in the media poll looking a little foolish right now.
And I mean, I can't blame them for doing their voting the way they did, because there was a loss on Carey's record. But like we said earlier,
Sure.
Butte County, I think they're 2, maybe 3. I think they're 2 though.
2, yeah.
In the 2A ranks. So obviously not a slouch of an opponent that they lost to by any means.
Yeah, and a good team at that too. Kind of a cool thing that Carey is doing with Butte County. So both schools sit on one edge or the other of, oh, why am I blanking on the name of it? Where the lava rocks, craters in the moon.
Yeah.
Craters in the moon. I can't believe
I wouldn't have helped you with it.
Yeah. As this is a squib kick almost. Takes bounce at the 15. And Dietrich will bring it out, brought down at the 25. But they created a rivalry between those two teams, so they're going to start playing every year at this point, and they basically made the rivalry around the craters of the moon, because you have to drive across the craters of the moon to get to the other school. So regardless of who's hosting, you have to drive across one of the, even though I blanked on the name of it, one of the coolest attractions in the U.S. So.
Right, yeah. That's awesome. I love any type of rivalry, any type of something you can attach to a rivalry, a story,
yeah,
a trophy.
Perkins on the move. It was a low snap. He's going to be dropped on the wrong side of the 15. Clock down to 10 seconds. That might be the last play of the game. And our final score here tonight is going to be 54-6. It was all Carey here tonight, and the Panthers will be the #1 team in 1A the next time the media polls come out. They win this one 54-6. Back for the postgame show here on IdahoSports.com after
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange,
And not all our steaks are ribeyes.
but wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road.
Belts strapped.
And dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Gem State Game of the Week featuring the #1 team in the state versus the #2 team in the state. It was all Carey tonight. The Carey Panthers win this one 54-6 over top-ranked Dietrich on the road. The Panthers getting a statement win here tonight. Let's move now to our IdahoSports.com player of the game tonight. It's brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game. Whether you're on the field or on the road, be in the moment and free from distractions. Down, kind of a short discussion on this one. It was Preston Wood here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do you have the count on how many touchdowns he scored?
I do, yeah. He scored 3 on the ground and threw for 2. So
Okay.
5 touchdowns.
And it felt like, I mean, he also had 2 long runs that eventually led to touchdowns as well. One of them he did pass, but the other one was punched in by somebody else. Can't remember who it was at that time, but
He had the touchdown throw to Young, and then A.J. Black had the
that's
other
what
touchdown.
it was. Yep. So, I mean, as we talked with Coach Saili about things that he was doing, even Coach Estelle, he talked about trying to stop Preston Wood, and I knew he was going to be good, but I didn't fully grasp how good he was.
Yeah, he was
And
good.
we saw it on the first possession of the game, but then it stalled for a long time. But as he was able to get space and wear down the Dietrich defense, he showed why he's maybe the best quarterback in the entire state.
Yeah, he's definitely up there at this 1A classification. You just said it, probably one of the fastest kids in the state. He's one of the best quarterbacks I've seen play at this level in a long, long time. And for Carey, looking forward, they got to be feeling pretty good about this win here tonight. They're going to close the year with Shoshone and Camas County. But, man, Carey's got it rolling right now at the right time of year.
Well, and especially with Dietrich coming into this game with the #1 ranking, Carey too, Shoshone right there as well. So I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with Shoshone next week, but if you're a Carey fan and if you're a Carey player, you're thinking, okay, state championship, that sounds pretty good to me right now. And if they're able to stay healthy, that's a big thing, especially at this level. In 8-man football, if they were to go down with somebody, things could change. But if they're able to stay healthy and continue to stick to their game plan, this is a really good growth game for them as well, because it was rough at times, especially early on in the first half.
Yeah, this is a team that went 3-6 last year. It was a team that was loaded up with juniors and sophomores, but those juniors and sophomores, they're now juniors and seniors now. And they learned a lot at the upper level when they were playing at the higher level the last couple years. They learned how to be more physical. They showed it here tonight. They win this one 54-6 over top-ranked Dietrich. Well, this has been an IdahoSports.com game stream production of Magic Valley Game Night presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. This broadcast was also made possible by our great supporters from the local businesses you see in your webcast player. There are power boosters here tonight. I want to give a special thanks to everyone here at Dietrich High School for their hospitality and helping us get this game broadcast to you here tonight. Congratulations once again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, Preston Wood. Thanks one last time for joining us here tonight from Dietrich. Your final